that she had in the Jewish community. And she observed this Rabbi Akiva and she wanted to marry him. And so actually, interestingly, when she expressed this desire to marry him, her father said that if you marry this Akiva, who are you going to marry? Do you know who you are and do you know who he is? This is a riffraff. This is this, poor, unlearned, ignorant. He doesn't even know how to read, and that's who you want to marry. And she went forward anyways, despite his threats that he would cut her off completely and not support her and not support the marriage. And
Steve already give a blessing.
And he went, and if you're talking, if you just mute for a second. That's my mom, by the way. And he completely cut her off. And Rabbi Akiva and Rachel, why did she marry Akiva? Because she saw in this simple shepherd, she saw his potential. She saw that there was this spark that just needed to be nurtured, and she believed in him, and she saw greatness in him. And she really took it upon herself to nurture his greatness and to nurture his heart and to nurture his self-esteem. And he didn't see that even within himself. And she was constantly encouraging him in their marriage to nurture his greatness. And actually, interestingly, one time he observed a rock with water dripping onto it. Drip, drop, drip, drop. And what happens after many years? It eroded the rock and there was a hole in the rock. And he sees the hole in the rock and he says, if water can erode a rock, then Torah, which is compared to water because it satiates our soul, it can probably erode my dull heart and my dull stone-like mind. And so with his wife's encouragement, with Rachel's encouragement, he goes to learn literally starting from the beginning, learning Aleph, Bet, Gimel, with great humility, being embarrassed. He's learning with little kids. He's going to Chabad's Hebrew after school. And he's learning literally from the beginning. And with her encouragement, he goes to travels to the great study halls to continue and further his learning. And some sources say that with his wife's, Rachel's, encouragement, he left for 12 years and he came back. And as he was coming back, he heard a neighbor tell his wife, Rachel, your husband, it's crazy what you let him do and leave you and just what he's doing, the whole situation. I can't believe it. And she said, if he would go for another 12 years, I would encourage if it would further his greatness, if it would further his grasp of the Torah. And so he heard this and he went to study for another 12 years. According to some sources, he was away for 24 years. And when he returns back to the city to reunite with his wife and with his family, he by this time is the great Rabbi Akiva. He is no longer the poor simple shepherd who can no longer learn who doesn't even know Aleph Bet. He's the great world famous Torah giant of the generation, Rabbi Akiva, and he is being escorted with an entourage of 24,000 students, and in every single city that they pass through, and in every single town that they pass through, all the greatest people, all the noble people, all the wealthy people, the entire city is flocking to greet the giant, the Torah scholar of the generation. And he finally gets to his town and he sees in the corner of his eyes, and by the way, even Kalba Savu, his father-in-law, came to greet him because he had no idea that this was his son-in-law, Akiva, the simple shepherd. And he comes to his town, and in the corner of his eyes, he sees that his students are blocking a woman who's wearing ragged, simple clothing and is trying to come close to him. And he says, "Stop." And he approaches her and he says the very famous words that until this day are written on his wife's tombstone. He says the famous words that until this day are written on her tombstone. He says, everything that we have, we all owe to her. On her tombstone, the words are Shali v'shalach shalahi. All that is mine and all that is yours, it's hers. It's because of this woman. It's because of her sacrifice. It's because of her vision. It's because of her optimism. And that and I think that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, um, one of the unique things about his day of celebration is that you have Jews from all different sects of Judaism, and all the labels fall on Lag BaOmer. There's no more labels. There's no more movement that I'm part of. And Lag BaOmer, if you had the opportunity to be in Meron, you just have true unity, and it's just that brotherhood, and it's that family. And I think Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, being a teacher of Rabbi Akiva, who came from this background where he worked so hard and came from this background, not a background of judgment, but a background of he came from a very simple background, and his famous teaching, V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, he was a man of unity. And so tonight, when we light the Lag BaOmer fire, we're lighting a fire and we're remembering the sacrifice of Rachel, the sacrifice of Rachel to pass on the flame of Torah to the next generation. And we're remembering the sacrifice of Rabbi Akiva. He loved Torah so he loved Torah so much at the expense of his life, to the point that he lived in the year 70 when the temple was destroyed, and he continued teaching Torah even when it was punishable by death. And when finally he was captured by the Romans and he was actually put to death, his inmate in prison, Papas, asked him, Akiva, why didn't you just stop teaching Torah? You could have lived. And he said, what's the point of living if you're a fish out of water? I would have continued living, but I would have been a fish out of water, walking around without a soul that is nourished. And so tonight, when we light the fire on Lag BaOmer, we remember all of those like Rachel, all of those like Rabbi Akiva, and throughout history, the dozens and thousands, and unfortunately, way too many people who had to sacrifice themselves tremendously, but we remember them in gratitude, because if it wasn't for our ancestors who, with tremendous sacrifice, kept the flame and the torch of Torah burning and the flame of torch of our people, we wouldn't be here today. So I want to say l'chaim, and I'm going to get a cup. I want to say l'chaim to all the beautiful people on this call, because we are the forebearer, we are the holders of this torch. Right now, we have this torch that's burning, and it's symbolic of the torch of Torah, and it's symbolic of the torch of our people. And so I want to say l'chaim to all you beautiful people on this call. We love you so much. And l'chaim I'm switching from whiskey to wine. And
I'll take that.
And so l'chaim to everyone on this call. Just remember to view yourself like Rachel viewed Rabbi Akiva. It's never too late. It's never too late to make change in our lives. So l'chaim to all of us, that wherever we are in our lives, anything that's inhibiting us, we should realize that if water can erode a rock, then we can also nourish our souls. It's never too late to start learning Torah. It's never too late to start, anything in life. That's one message we learned to Rabbi Akiva. So I want to say l'chaim to everyone on this call for breaking through your individual barriers and connecting to your life's mission, as Rachel taught her husband, Rabbi Akiva. And I want to say l'chaim to being able to really love ourselves, because v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, Rabbi Akiva taught you have to love another person like you love yourself. First, you have to love yourself. So l'chaim to all of us having true, full love. And l'chaim, finally, that we should responsibly and with pride and with joy pass on the flame of our people to the next generation, because we're the only ones who are going to do it. These people on this call right now. Yeah, it's a great responsibility. So l'chaim, and I'm going to pass the mic to the birthday rabbi. And I think it's very fitting that our wonderful, great Rabbi Yigal Rosenberg is celebrated as well on this day, because I think one of the things when I was dating Rabbi Yigal that I was very attracted to was his love, his sincere love. And with that, I'm going to give my kids sincere love, but his sincere love for all people without judgment, and his sincere love for Torah, because if you really love Torah, then you're going to love all people. And that's the truest testament that your Torah learning is true, is if you're in the reflection of your love towards others. Because what is the greatest love? To love what your beloved loves. And if you love Hashem, you love his children. So l'chaim and happy birthday to the Rabbi Akiva of our generation. No, I'm kidding. Maybe that's going a little too far, but that's how I see him. But happy birthday to Rabbi Yigal, my dear husband.
Thank you very much, Alana. Wow, that's a hard act to follow as always. I also want to give a big shout out to the APJCC, Maya Jacobson, as well as the Moshe House, and everyone else that's on this call. We have a lot of organizations, and I do believe that's one of the greatest things that we can do and what we can accomplish is definitely, let me just unplug the speaker. You guys can hear me well? Thumbs up? Okay, good. So that's definitely one of the most incredible things that we can accomplish during this time, which is not as much a pinnacle catalyst or a focal point. Now we have an incredible opportunity. Any event that is being done to the best of our ability, we will try to collaborate with other organizations. It's an incredible thing. Jewish unity, as my wife mentioned, I spent some time myself going to Meron, the resting place of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who was the again my wife just mentioned. He wrote the Zohar and Kabbalah, and his resting place is like a Jewish Burning Man. You have literally hundreds of thousands of people, 400, 500,000. I might be wrong on the exact number, maybe 300,000. It's all the same, to be honest. The entire mountain is just full of energy for 24 hours. I remember distinctly going to bed around 3 or 4 in the morning on a little spot that we were able to pitch a tent, and then waking up the next morning and I saw the exact, 8 in the morning, and I saw the exact same people that were dancing the night before were still going at it. And I thought I was just on little sleep, but the energy is very palpable. And the beautiful thing, like my wife mentioned, is the fact that anyone, no matter who, no matter what, is there. The entire Israel comes together. There's no labels, as my wife say. People call us Orthodox sometimes, and I reject that completely. The concept is that God gave us one Torah, and we try to our best to keep it to the best of our ability. But I just want to thank everyone as well for coming. And we have my brother-in-law on the call. Penny, are you still here? Penny, you have your video on?
Ali,
I'm still here. My video's on and I'm still here.
What's up, Penny? It's good to see you. This is Alana's brother. Alana's brother.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you guys. Happy birthday, Rabbi Yigal.
Thank you, L'chaim. Penny. Penny, you have L'chaim?
I got some beer, L'chaim. Only blessings and happiness and revealed good for you and all of your family. And keep shining the light that you're shining.
Amen. L'chaim.
Gali, can you hear me?
I can hear you, David.
Okay, come on. I want to get everybody to sing happy birthday to you. And then I got to go.
Okay, take it away, Diman.
Okay, everybody join in. We'll sing happy birthday to Rabbi Yigal.
It sounded
Oh, ready?
Rabbi Yigal, David, and a few others.
Huh?
There's a few birthdays. It's my birthday. It's David Skolnick, and we also have my brother-in-law Steve, who is also on the call.
Okay, so happy birthday to Yigal, to
David and Steve.
Okay, cool. All right, here we go. Let's do this.
What? Go ahead.
Happy birthday to you. Happy
Hey to you.
Happy birthday, dear Rabbi Yigal. Happy birthday to you.
And
many more.
On channel 4.
Happy birthday.
Okay, beautiful.
To you.
Thank you, Diman. Now we're gonna switch it back to Penny. Penny, take it away, Penny.
Okay, so first of all, happy birthday, Yigal. The rabbi who was playing the guitar before, he was singing some Bob Marley, and I don't know if he even knows, but yesterday was actually Bob Marley's yahrzeit. So May 11th is when Bob Marley passed away. And now today we have Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the Yurtzeit, and then we have all these beautiful birthdays that are going on today. So my plan for right now is it's unprepared. It's going to be completely off the cuff. I'm going to do a little freestyle for Lag BaOmer, for Rabbi Yigal's birthday. Like Yigal said, it's also my brother Steve's birthday, Hebrew birthday. So happy birthday, Steve. We love you. Only blessings and happiness, and everybody should only see revealed good. I'm going to do a little mic test. I don't have the live guitar like the other rabbi, but tell me if you could hear this beat. And then tell me how the sound sounds over it. So we're going to try to do a mic check right over here, okay? Tell me if you can still hear me. Let me talk about Shimon Bar Yochai. Let me talk about the Lord. Let me talk about the high. Yeah, today is his Yurtzeit, because I'm just feeling good. I'm about to fly a kite. Let me tell you something. He had to hide in a cave. The rabbi was so good because the rabbi was so brave. He wrote the letters. He wrote the Zohar. Feeling good, but you know I want to see the Lord so far. In my soul, I got the wisdom. I got the passion. I'm sitting by the oceans and I hear the waves crashing. I know that I should be good, but at the same time, I'm blasting my inner thoughts because I got demons and you know that I'm just navigating. Let me talk about Rabbi Akiva. He has students that stopped dying today. But let me tell you about something called hate. If you don't love each other, God will look down on you. He'll frown on you, but you have to just be a good Jew. So today was the day that the murder just stopped. So we just have to live up and say, I love God. Listen to me as I think about holidays. I want to think about the little days when I was getting raised. But let me tell you about Meron. Let me tell you about the king. He's sitting on the throne because we call him the Lord. And I just reach out with my sword and I want to see the light and I just want to absorb. He lives in a city right near Tzfat where we stay hot. But you know that it's not like a lot. But we from Israel, I'm telling you stories. I want to talk about the Lord and all of his glory. See, inside I got vibes. I want to ride because you know I'm so good, but at the same time I'm behind. I want to talk about the holidays and people dying, but it's okay because it's just happy days. That's what Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said. Even on days that people pass away, it's okay because we realize that their life was amazing. And inside, we should be praising ourselves. We should be realizing that we should be seeking some health. I know we're in quarantine. We might be stuck in our houses, but we should be looking outside and looking for spouses. It's okay because you know that the mind just arouses demons inside, but you know I'm coming out and I'm just laughing because it's about thinking that we have qualities. And yeah, I like it hot, so I like to drink tea. It's a freestyle spirit, but it is about the birthday, Yigal, Steve, it's just Earth Day. Shaking so hard, we about to cause an earthquake. But I love good vibes. I love these people on this video chat. It's so live. You see, I don't know if I could top off the guy with the guitar like Led Zeppelin. There, we take it so far. It's bizarre. But you know, I'm like a magician. I'm a wizard. I want to be a good person and tap into the Lord. Yeah, talk to God every day. Shabbos Mechamarav, yeah, that's how we pray. See, sometimes I have questions, but it's okay if you just repent in and invest in. Let me let the beat stop, take it back, and then I'm just questioning. Questions I have, but I'm tapped into the ocean. Yeah, let me talk about the potions. I got emotions, but you know that I'm feeling so good. I'm just soaking. Remember when we were kids in the pools, like super soaking? We had water guns, but now we all grown up, but life is so corrupt. So let me just tell you what is up. And let me tell you about the times in Meron when we was chilling, we was barbecuing, we was singing. By the grave of the rabbi, you think it was a party, like he said, it was Burning Man, but it was actually the commemorations of a man's death. And we were still able to have such a good time there because death is not necessarily something that is negative. It's a cycle of life. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was the definition of a person that was persecuted. He was locked up in a cave. He hid in a cave because he was spreading Kabbalah. And if everybody knows Chabad, Chachma, Bina, Das, Chabad is all about tapping into the inner essence of Kabbalah. And that's what Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was really he really spreaded that. And when he died, his quote was that this should be a happy day, that death is not something that is sad, but you should celebrate life. And you know, here we are. Also, Rabbi Akiva, his students, stopped dying on this day. So it is a very, very positive day. And a lot of us might be stuck in our houses and we might feel a little isolated and we might feel like we're in our own caves. But if we realize that this is all a part of the bigger picture, like Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai did. And this is something that we're going to be able to pass on to future generations, and we should grow and learn from it. There's going to be a lot of good things that come from it. So, l'chaim, blessings. Happy birthday, Rabbi Yigal. Happy birthday, Steve. Happy birthday to David. Name. And thank you, everybody who shared so far, and thank you, everybody, for joining.
Hey, happy birthday. Wait, Steve also? Steve Lack, your bro?
My brother. It's my brother's birthday.
Woo! Yeah.
L'chaim Penny. Penny, should
L'chaim.
we do maybe we could everyone, if anyone wants to throw, are you cool doing a word game for a minute, Penny?
Fine. Happy birthday
How do
to
we
us.
do the word game though? It's very hard.
Everyone can put on the chat. If anyone wants to throw out a word, Penny can go off of the word. If everyone could just put in a random word or something deep about coronavirus, what do they think? What do they want to grow in? One word. Everyone could put in one word, something that you want to grow in or embellish or work on during this crazy time. I believe Penny might be able to give a beat off of it. Who's going to be the first one that's going to type in the word box? Taekwondo. Wow.
Okay.
Pastor Kim, you're kind of making it difficult over here.
I got it. Let's turn it
But
down.
while he's going, more people have to type in words. So we need like
We gotta get words in there. We gotta get words in there. Ready? Okay.
Everyone type in a word that you want to do more
talk
of.
about it like I'm from Boston, like I'm James Rondeau. With the sis, I got the kiss because I got calmness. Yeah, the Lord's on my side because we just the bombers. Yeah, I'm reading, but you know that I'm just fiending. But I'm feeling so good, so you know that I'm dreaming. I got the focus for Jehovah's because the Lord is on our side. Let me tell you how I do this and I just vibe. All the books, we just crooks, but let me tell you, I'm like Shug. Night when I fight like a dwelling woe, but then I get it like we all just chilling. Amigos, I got the family. I got the people around my side. People in my circle, yeah, people in my life. Let me talk about the music as I just tune in. Let me talk about the Lord as we just zoom in. Compassion as I'm flashing because you know that I'm just flashing in the pool. Krispy Kreme treats. Oh my God, I just defeat. But let me show you how I get it. Never retreat. I talk about my future because I'm moving forward and toward the light that I absorb because you know that I got swords. Echad, yeah, I tell you, we all won. I'm feeling so good because the Lord, we are sons. He is our father, sons and daughters. But now I'm feeling good because you know that I go harder. One love. Yeah, that's right. Bob Marley. I'm on the freeway riding and I'm driving in a Harley. COVID-18. Nope, I meant 19. Let me tell you something, but I am high thing, but drinking beer because I have no fear. I'm feeling good and the Lord's on my side. So we just dare. Give me another word so I can show you how I do it. I'm feeling like I could freestyle. COVID-17 is so heavenly. I'm moving so slow, but I'm not a benevolent G because I bring it back. That just would track. This ain't no anthrax, so we never subtract. Yigal, yeah, we flying high like we was eagles coming across the stream, but you know that I'm just spiral like a touchdown. Let me talk about the health. Let me talk about the money. Let me talk about the wealth. I go undercover in the army like stealth, but then I just get it because you know that I'm on the shelf, top shelf. But I'm not talking marijuana. I'm talking about the Lord. Yeah, I'm talking about Havana. I'm talking about Kavana. I'm talking about dancing. Netflix, I've been watching too much of it. I've been binging. Yeah, I'm talking about the series, talk about Trump. I'm not going to get too political on here, okay, but let's just move on to growth. Let me talk about that. I get it and I live life, but you know I'm no subtracts, but talk about growth again. I want to be a good person. I want to go again. I'm finding love inside of me. Why have I been the person that's been hiding, G? I have to come out and be revealed as a person and stop perversion so I could be riding in Suburbans. Yeah, I'm not talking about the money from the cars. I'm not talking about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai who wrote the Zohar. Yeah, but let me talk about the mountains and grace to peace. Let me talk about the deceased in the Middle East. They died because they didn't get the love from the Lord. But then, you know, I'm going and I absorbs from these sorbs because I see the surf and I see the beach. Let me tell you about the people that about to preach. You can keep typing words like robots, but you know that I keep going and I got the flow boss like it was some pasta. Yeah, I am a Rasta. I'm feeling so nice, but then I get it like I'm on one. Oh, divinity. Okay, we're good. We're good. I think that was it. That was it.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Come on, everybody. Can we get a round of applause for Penny? Unmute everyone. You guys are all unmuted.
Oh, wow. That was so fun.
Yeah,
Come on, everybody.
That
Come
was
on. Round of applause for Nasty P.
Elior, hello.
Tell the rabbi with the guitar is tired. He wouldn't have done so well if he hadn't whipped out all the good musical vibes with the guitar.
Dr. Laz.
Thank you, Brother Penny.
We'll
Thank you, my
see.
brother. Oh,
Enjoy.
man. Awesome.
Thank you.
I love the light, the inspiration. Thank you so much.
David, Diman, oh, say, can you see? Can you do a wrap off of that?
Tell me when we're gonna take this out. Hold on.
David, can you do a wrap off of it? Come on, we could get one more wrap out of you. Let me mute everyone aside from you. You're doing one more. Okay, Diman, take it away.
Okay, give me that. Oh, say, can you see?
Can't
stuff.
do it.
Okay. Oh, say, can you?
See communication across the nation. Let's all sit down and have a conversation. You understanding. I listen to you, you listen to me. We can work things out in harmony. Respect each other's feelings, respect who you are, respect each other's cultures, and we'll all go far. E for education, a point of elevation that keeps on going even after graduation.
Oh, keep on going, Diman. Keep it, come on.
Oh, man.
Diman,
Let me
We
try
got-
something. Hey, can you hear me over here?
yeah, Penny, take it away, Penny.
No, Rabbi Dimon, let's try something. Let's try to go off of each other, 2 lines at a time.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm not so good at that, but I'll try.
We're gonna do it off of each other. We're gonna
Okay.
reach energy and go off of each other.
All right, cool.
You
We'll
go.
give it a shot, man.
I'll give it a shot. Okay. I'm here with Dimon because it ain't no Haman. I'm by the beach, and you know that I'm no love on.
And I got my man Penny. My man Penny's on the line. Whenever I hear him, you know I'm feeling fine.
Yeah, he's feeling fine, and I didn't even drink wine because it's not a Pesach Seder, and you know I never whine. The Lord is so divine.
Oh, it's so true. It's so true. Everything that you do, you just let it come through. You just open up to the vibes that's all around you.
Open up to the vibes that is all around me because I'm searching, and I think that something is founding from the bottom because we growing, building up a temple. That's Mashiach. The day is coming. I hope you're ready. It's simple.
Oh, man, I hear that. I hear that.
Okay, Diman, thank you very much. You can go
All
to
right,
sleep,
thank
Diman.
you.
You're good.
All right, thank you so much. Great
Brother
energy.
Penny, you're awesome, my brother.
We'll be
You're
in
awesome.
touch. We'll connect on Facebook.
Okay, amen.
Enjoy.
Keep shining with the love, you hear? One love.
Amen.
Okay, L'chaim, everyone. The fire is getting hot over here. If anyone wants to shout out, feel free, but everyone could join me for a L'chaim. Beautiful, beautiful words from the heart. People that are connected to music, no doubt they're really connected spiritually. It's a really powerful thing. And I just want to give a L'chaim as well to touch upon the ideas of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai for 1 minute. L'chaim. Is it okay if I just say it regular and not like rap it? Is that okay? Okay.
That's not acceptable.
Not acceptable. Yuri, are you ready to do a rap?
Yeah, with the mute button on, I'll do it.
Okay. So just real quick, we have a fire. There's a couple of things that we do on Lag BaOmer. Lag BaOmer, like we said, is a time of incredible unity. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, on the last day of his life, what he did was something incredible. He, firstly, just to preface, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is, again, like my wife was mentioning, the story of Rabbi Akiva, who has accomplished incredible things from the age 40 and onwards with incredible determination. He was able to focus on his life mission, and even at a later age was able to wake up in life, which again, this is the auspicious time as people are talking about, changing things up. The world, for the first time, only 3 times, like we said in the last call, stopped for one unilateral concept. The first time was by the Mabul, the great flood by Noah. The great flood by Noah, when God, the world as a general, was really in a decrepit state. Bestiality and all sorts of other funky things were going on in the world, cannibalism, etc. And the entire world stopped because there was a flood. God put a pause to people's plans. A second time is something that we're going to experience in just a matter of 2 or 3 weeks, the Shavuot holiday. The Shavuot holiday is an incredible, the first time there was a godly revelation to humanity as a mass godly revelation. You look at any other religion in the world, you don't have such a concept where, you know, maybe one guy woke up and had a dream or something like this, but the 2 million people standing at the foot of Mount Sinai, but not just that. When God spoke, there was not a single echo. what is an echo? An echo means that the voice is reverberating and bouncing off of the physicality of this world. But there was no echo by the giving of the Torah, because when God spoke, it was absorbed into the essence of the world at large. So that was, and not only that, but the world at large was also quiet. It says the birds, the bees, the animals, the humanity basically stopped, even though the Jewish people were receiving the Torah out somewhere in the wilderness in Egypt, in the Midbar, in the Great Desert. But after they left Egypt, I'm sorry. But the entire world stopped. And the third time is at this stage right now in history, where the entire world is focused on one common goal, which is destroying this virus. So first and foremost, I want to make a l'chaim. There are many of us, 30 of us on the call, and probably a few other 30s or 60 or 100 or so watching us on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, jump on the call as well. On Zoom, you can look us up on CYP Santa Clara, and you will be able to join the call, the Zoom call. But I just want to say that this is an incredible time, and we should ask from God, from the one above, who at the end of the day is orchestrating everything and is the one who's in control. There's no virus just running around, spreading loose all over the country or over the world. We have to know that there is a divine creator who created the world 6,000 years ago and has not once took his finger off of the button. He is behind the scene, the same way Google cannot continue to operate as a company, or Facebook, and all you guys are at work, doing your work, being very involved in your occupation. So these small incy-bincy sites in the greater scheme of humanity and the universal element of the world, so how much more so and how much greater so God's involvement and particular involvement and divine orchestration of everything that is going down in this world, especially when we're talking about something that is affecting well over 7 billion people. Of course, God is involved, and to say otherwise, I might just turn off the phone call. But we have to remind ourselves again and again every morning or every night before we go to sleep, there is nothing to really, we shouldn't, of course, we got to follow what we need to do, but we need to, of course, rely on God. And reliance on God also means that we have to pray. That means that we have to do whatever is, of course, in addition to washing our hands. But it is, of course, 100% in God's control. And that being said, during this unique time, the entire world has an unprecedented element of unity that has never once been shown to this extent on the face of the planet Earth. So this is an incredible time, and we should also ask for Mashiach to come, a messianic age, which of course starts in Judaism, and other religions have somehow adapted it. But it's a time when there won't be any more war, jealousy, or competition. The entire approach of the entire world will be exactly what we're experiencing now, to focus on goodness and kindness, acts that are helping other people. Instead of being selfish, we're going to be selfless. And I think this is a time in our own life to work on the above mentioned concepts that we all, as human beings, this is the Spirit HaOmer, we are anticipating, we are counting down the days until Shavuot, the giving of the Torah, which is going to happen in 2 or 3 weeks, right? From Passover to Shavuot, 7 weeks. So we're already a month in, over a month in. And I want to just remind us all that the Torah that we are going to be receiving is going to be in a present tense. God gave the world, the Torah, 300 over 3,500 years ago, or just under 3,500 years ago, and it has never once become old, right? You don't see lawyers running up to the law books and giving a kiss. When a Torah comes out of the ark, everyone is excited about it. Torah is something that is essential and is relevant, more relevant than anything that any news source will ever tell us. And we have to remind ourselves during this very difficult time that when we are trying to find solace, when we're trying to find focus, when we're trying to find what we should be doing at this time and place with our lives and what the world should be doing in a general sense, we have to come back not to modern science and doctors, because at the end of the day, they are throwing their hands up, are clueless. We have to start with the same reason why God stopped civilization by the Great Flood, and again by the Shavuot holiday, to give us a very clear parameter of humanity's success. So too, this third reset, if you will, is an opportune time for us, everyone that's on this call in particular, to rededicate ourselves and our families, or whoever, whatever element of influence that we have. If you know Aleph, you teach Aleph. Everyone has something that they can share. And I just want to give everyone on this call a l'chaim. All of us should be extremely connected to our soul's mission in this world. That's what Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai represented, the soul of the Torah. Of course, the Torah existed for thousands of years before the onset of Kabbalah. But Kabbalah brought in, as we're witnessing right now live, a fire. It brought in an excitement. It brought in something that up until this stage never existed. And we have to remind ourselves that just to study the Torah as itself is extremely important. But just as important is to study the mystical elements, the deeper dimensions of the Torah, which you can find on a numerous amount of websites. And I highly recommend chabad.org, chabad.org, for any element of Kabbalah or deeper mysticism, which is coming from an authentic source, because of course, we know like anything good, you have people trying to make it a little bit on a watered down side. So but of course, there are incredible other websites as well. And I want to give everyone on this call a l'chaim. It is incredibly touching to me to see all of you coming out and celebrating Lag BaOmer, celebrating on a much lower scale my birthday. But it's an incredible time of Jewish unity. And to see all of you on the call, it's really, really very powerful. And I give you all a blessing that we should connect to this incredible day that we are experiencing, that we are witnessing with our own eyes, the excitement and the power, and the entire world is so focused right now on that common goal of healing and spirituality and productivity. And just going to the gym won't cut it. It's an important element, but we also have to work the same way we work out our animal. Our godly soul also needs the same element. Our body is a physical thing, which is very powerful if utilized for the right things. And we have to make sure that the animal is not being led by an additional animal, namely our animal soul, but it should be our animal, our physical body, which is a holy thing if utilized for the right purpose, should be led by the godly soul. Our decisions should be made by the things that are most important and that are most aligned with what God wants. And unlike an animal, where we have the head, the heart, the stomach, and the behind all on the same equal level, a human first has his head. First he thinks, is this a good thing for me to do? Then he has his heart. He feels, is this really, I can think. Adolf Hitler thought that being humanitarian is a beautiful thing, and helping the world at large is a beautiful thing. But because he was just based on his head and his own personal heart, without an ulterior or without a barometer of spirituality, without a godly element, obviously he justified the killing of over 11 million people. So as spiritual beings, we have our head, we have our heart, and lower than our heart, we have our hands. Action is the last purpose, is the last act. First, we have to, before we do something to our fellow, how we are going to treat, how am I going to react to my children that are throwing things at me at the moment, or someone else. Of course, that was my wife. Sorry, she was kicking me under the table. Or any other element of people in our lives that might potentially be kind of giving us some element of constructive criticism. We shouldn't take it as a low blow. We should first think, feel, and only then lead to action. And that is a very important thing, that we should have the Jewish pride. We should be exciting. Judaism is something that was given on Mount Sinai. What was so exciting about Mount Sinai? Mount Sinai was a small mountain. Why did God put it on a small mountain? Why did God give Torah to humanity on a small mountain? He could have, and the answer is because he wanted to teach humility. But if he wanted to teach humility, then he should have taught the Torah. He should have given the Jewish people the Torah, not on a small mountain. He should have done it in the Silicon Valley, in a place that's not on an elevation, but on a low, on a regressed land scale. But he's trying to teach us that, yes, we have to be humble, but simultaneously, we also, just as important, have to be a mountain. We have to have Jewish pride. The same way that we need to have humility, we also have to have pride. So a small mountain is a good compromise. And again, l'chaim to all of you. We can open up the floor if anyone wants to say a l'chaim. I give you all the blessings that we should be incredibly in touch with the small mountain within us, both the elements of humility as well, of course, the element of Jewish pride. L'chaim. Should we play a song? Do we have a song that we can play, and I'll do a fire dance? Should we do a fire dance? Have you guys seen my fire dance before? Is it getting boring?
Good, let's see a little fire dance. You want me to play a song?
Yeah. Penny, make it happen.
I'm gonna play some Lag Bomer tunes. Hopefully we can find something.
Oh, I can play from the computer. Wait 1 second. Let me do it. I'll share the computer.
You can put on Ba Yochanan.
Okay, let's do this. Sorry about that. Boom. Boom. Spotify. Check it out. Spotify.
It's a good song.
Spotify. Come on, everybody. And I want everyone singing along to the best of your ability. I know that it sounds terrible. And you guys, can everyone dance with me, or am I going to do it by myself? Because I want to do it with everyone. It's an important element to dance. Alana, do you want to mention something about the blessings that of children and finding a shidduch that happened on this day?
Yeah, it's a tradition to give each other blessings, and like people from all over the world would travel to Meron on Lag BaOmer just to be in touch and get those blessings and to share blessings. So there's so many stories of people who were praying for many years to have children, and on the special day of Lag BaOmer, so I want to bless everyone on this call for L'chaim, that in the merit of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who, as Rabbi Yigal said, got us in touch with the inner dimensions of Torah, the student of Rabbi Akiva, 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva, and most of them passed from a plague except for 5, and he was one of the surviving students who passed on that torch of love. So L'chaim, and the merit of this special day, and the merit of all of us uniting on this phone call tonight, because it's the power of unity that breaks all barriers. It's the power of joy that breaks all barriers. To all those who are looking to unite with their Jewish half, L'chaim, it should be with much success, that you should meet your zivug amiti, your true soulmate. To all those in the world, and Mushka's on the call giving her L'chaim too, in her 2-year-old language. But for all those in the world who are praying to have kids, L'chaim, for all those who need financial, just good things financially, and just it should really, the main thing right now, we need healing in the world. So L'chaim to physical healing for the whole world, but it should be reflected by the inner feeling that, please God, we should all experience the inner healing. Please God, Bikarov immediately, and redemption for the whole world from this corona. We should experience a true inner healing where we all realize that we truly are one, and the facade of our bodies separating us is only an illusion. Really, we are but one soul, this whole world. And that's really the essence of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's teachings, is achad, is that this world is all one, and the separation is just an illusion. And the oneness is the oneness of Hashem that unites the entire humanity and the entire world. So L'chaim to revealing the divine sparks in all of us and in the entire world. L'chaim!
L'chaim!
Let me know how the sound is. Let me 1 second. Let me know how the sound is. 1 second. You guys hear it?
No.
I don't hear anything.
1 second.
You want me to take it over?
No, 1 second. I'll do it. 1 second. Hold Mishka. Okay, go to mommy. Go to mommy.
I think I got it.
Okay, 1 second. I got it. 1 second. Zoom. Okay, 1 second. Sorry about that, guys.
You hear that?
Ish, 1 second. No, Penny, let me do it. Sorry. Wait, 1 second. I'm doing it. 1 second.
Were you not able to hear it right there?
Okay, 1 second. Sorry, 1 second.
Can they hear?
1 second.
Gotta go full screen.
Okay. Share screen.
Me too. Okay.
Sasha, какой номер на карточке? 707?
All right.
Okay, Penny, I put it on Ivri Anochi.
You want to hear a little Bar Yochai for Shimon?
Oh yeah, Bar Yochai, yeah. Take it away.
You ready? Tell me if you can hear okay.
На среду.
Dancing? Come on, I can't hear some applause. There we go. We see some dancing over there on the screen. I'm watching you all. Come on, everybody. I can't see everyone dancing.
Give it up for the fire of our people, burning strong. Quarantine will not put out the fire of our people.
You want to try to juggle? No, my daughter doesn't want to juggle. Go on and go. Okay, everyone. Thank you, Penny. Thank you, L'chaim.
Oh, whoa!
Woo!
Wow! That was fire! No pun intended. Wow!
So firstly, I want to, can you all hear me? Yeah, okay. So Alex, Penny, Ariella, Danny, the wonderful David, who's his birthday is as well coming up. And I want to say hello to the other David, David Adus. We have wonderful Eliora, Ella, Jeff Levy, all the way from San Luis Obispo. Thank you all for coming. We have, who else is over here? Joel, Linda, Maya. Thank you, Maya, as well. Thank you for all your help. My wonderful father-in-law, Michael, is on the call. And Michael, Natalie, Nate, Michelle, Penny, Rosanna, Valerie, Victor, Yuri, l'chaim to all of you again. I just want to also mention that, well, first, l'chaim. Does everyone have a l'chaim in their house? If you have, you could have some water. I'm not necessarily encouraging any elements of an alcoholic drink, but if you want to, it's definitely in the spirit. But l'chaim to all of you. This is an incredible, incredible day. So I give us again all a blessing that whenever something happens spiritually, right, in the world, it's not just that it happens. What's that? Can you hear me? Yeah, anyway, I want to, whenever something happens spiritually in the world, it's something that affects worldwide, something that happens above affects the world here below. So when something happens or 500 years ago, 800 years ago, 1,000 years ago, it is something that is very relevant in this day and age. So when the same way, like we said, that, and again, the reason why we celebrate this holiday more than potentially other holidays is that the same way we received the oral and written Torah on Shavuot, which means that God gave the Torah to Moses. He came down with the 10 tablets, followed by, of course, the giving of the Torah to the Jewish people. But in addition to that, of course, we know that all of the oral Torah as well was transcribed on the holiday of Shavuot. So too, on Lag BaOmer, tonight is the day that we're celebrating the Zohar, or the Kabbalah, the innermost part of the Torah. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, on the day that he was passing, he gathered all of his students. All of his students came together. I know my wife, Alani, discussed the cave already yet. Oh, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, incredibly, again, like his teacher, Rabbi Akiva, he was someone who, Rabbi Akiva was unfortunately, or fortunately in his eyes, he passed away a very difficult and cruel death. He was, of course, teaching Torah, which was, the Romans were not such happy fellows, happy campers about that. And teaching Torah was penalty by death. And the Romans wanted to show almost make a lesson out of him. And they peeled his skin off. I'm sorry if this is a little graphic. They peeled his skin off with hot iron combs. And as his soul was about to expire and the Romans were killing the teacher, Rabbi Akiva, in Caesarea, I remember when I was on a birthright trip, I stood in the exact place where he was killed, which is one of the beautiful elements of living in Israel. And history is not it's not a fable, it's not story tales. It's there, you look out your window and you see the incredible history that our fathers and grandfathers and great-grandfathers have lived through in order for us to be at this incredibly auspicious occasion living in America, where freedom is granted to us, freedom of religion and happiness and joy, so that we should be able to not just do the regular element of things, but we should try to, as we see now, the Torah is much more available to humanity than it's ever been before. With the onset of technology, etc., it has never been as accessible. Like we learned from Rabbi Akiva, he had to leave his wife for 13 years to get it. Now all you need to do is you could do the dishes and take out the garbage. So you're with your wife. She's really excited about you learning Torah because you could have your Bluetooth headset on and study all that you want. Anyway, so going back to that, so Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, or Rabbi Akiva, he left this world when the Romans were, again, raking his skin off. And he said, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. And with the word Echad, his holy soul departed from the world. And we see that, of course, most people wouldn't be happy about that element. It would be painful. But Rabbi Akiva realized the incredible merit of living a life and, unfortunately, giving his life for the sake of God's name, which, of course, we know from our cousins out in there's some places that potentially might do that for the wrong reasons. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, it's one of the greatest honors. And of course, I don't remember if anyone has the name of the Chayal, the Israeli soldier that passed away. Yuri, do you have it on you? The person who passed away today?
Yeah, I'm looking it up. I do. Hold on just a minute.
So someone passed away. Someone was killed. Sorry, someone was killed today. And of course, any of our incredible tzaddikim that are on the front line, our great righteous individuals who are fighting for our land of Eretz Yisrael, of Israel, Of course, those that give their life for the sake of God's name, they are incredibly righteous individuals, and they are commendable, and God should grant them and their families just healing and peace. We'll get to the name in a minute. Yuri will just put in the chat box. But Rabbi Akiva left this world saying God's name. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. And he almost said, this was the day that almost his entire fruition of his life came to existence, because he was able to give his life for the sanctity of God's name. In other words, he almost wasn't even so sad about it. He was with a smile on his face, because he knew that you can destroy our physical body, but our soul lives forever and it's eternal. And of course, this is a message for us in this world that perhaps we might, and myself, I might be guilty of this as well, giving a little bit too much credence for the things that are exciting and pleasurable from a physical standpoint, but potentially neglecting our spiritual purpose in this world, which of course, when we are in sync and in touch with our spiritual purpose in this world,
his name was, sorry, Rav Yigal.
What's his name?
Amit Ben Yigal. Hold on, double check one more time. His name was Amit Ben Yigal.
So
I don't know what his last name was, but his formal name, I guess, was Amit.
Last name is a made-up concept that was created about 300 years ago.
Right. So Amit Ben Yigal.
The Hebrew name and the father name, Amit Ben Yigal, his neshama should have an aliyah, and we hope to be reunited with all of our loved ones with the coming of Mashiach. L'chaim.
L'chaim. But you got to tell us to pour the drink. 1 second.
So just to finish up that thought, so Rabbi Shimon, so that was Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's teacher. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was someone who his entire life also was dedicated towards teaching Torah, to teaching the spiritual elements of the Torah, to teaching the most powerful, profound concepts that aren't necessarily hidden or revealed to everyone, but they're hidden for only the select few. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, what he accomplished was something that no one has ever accomplished before, which was to reveal that to the masses. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who on the day of his death, actually before the day of his death, we know that he went into a cave. The Romans were trying to kill him, like they killed his teacher for 13 years. We have the wonderful David and Helena over here as well. From a distance, they're joining us from the bonfire. We have a good 10 feet, I promise, but 12 feet, 2 times 6, very beautiful. But the idea is that on the day of his past, so Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who was wanted for teaching Torah, again, he was teaching Torah to the masses, not just any element of the Torah, but the deepest secrets of the Torah, which we're going to talk about later, was subsequently revealed to the Arizal and the Baal Shem Tov, and extremely well spread amongst all circles today, whereas back in the day, only when you were a great scholar were you able to study it. All of us, I highly recommend. Again, I don't know if the Zohar is the first place to go. I would go to Chassidut, learn Chassidut, and then eventually you could build yourself up to that. It is a little bit difficult, but Chassidut is in essence a outgrowth of the Zohar and the incredible teaching of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Anyway, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was threatened by his life to be killed, and he ran away with his son Rabbi Lazar. They ran away to a cave, and in this cave, they lived not for 1 month, not for 2 months, right? We're already 2 months in quarantine. Is that right? No. Yeah, I guess 2 months. Yeah, right. A month was Purim. We had our event on Purim, so that was the last day that we were able to party. And of course, I'm happy that we did that without a doubt. It seems like everyone's here on the call, so I think we're all good. But that was Purim. Passover was a month later, and now we're a month after Passover, so 2 months to go. So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai didn't spend 2 months in quarantine. He spent 13 years. 13 years with his son Rabbi Lazar, and him and his son Rabbi Lazar learned the entire Torah hundreds of times, not just, of course, the 5 books of Moses. Of course, we know that Torah is not that bland. Of course, the 5 books of Moses, you look at any verse from the 5 books of Moses, you have a good 15 or 20 pages worth of commentary. So in addition to the 5 books of Moses, they learned everything that existed in Torah, the Mishnah, and the Gemara, or maybe the Gemara wasn't fully out there. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was actually on basically every page of the Gemara. Every chapter mentions Rabbi Shimon, which is Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, in addition to be a great mystical scholar, he was able to bridge that into the Talmudic study of practical analytics of Jewish law. When a cow gores another man, when a cow gores another cow, when someone damages someone else's property, or whatever element of Judaism that, of course, we know they're studying out in Japan and China, because from the Talmud is the greatest wisdom. So the other nations of the world are catching on. But going back to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, in addition to being this great scholar, he was, while he was in the cave with his son Rabbi Lazar, he learned the entire Torah time and time again, hundreds of times. And interesting enough, after 13 years, he left the cave with Rabbi Lazar. When he and his son left the cave, after they heard news that the Romans weren't trying to kill them, there was a new governor. That's when, again, interesting enough, he actually came to his father-in-law. And his father-in-law, after seeing his son, to kind of backtrack, while they were in the cave, how did they survive? Right? This was before you had Amazon Prime. And what's the other food delivery program? Fresh or whatever it is. Yeah, all those food delivery programs that, thank God, are working great these days. With, now you have to wait 3 hours instead of 2 hours. Not the end of the world. But anyway, so Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was stuck in a cave. So miraculously, a carob tree, FYI, carobs taste good in smoothies. I don't know about breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but they had a carob tree that grew out of the ground miraculously, and a fresh stream of water came out, gushed forth, and that was how they were able to stay alive throughout the 13 years in the cave. Anyway, to when they came out, you could imagine, also when they were studying, they didn't have clothing that they could wear every single day. After 13 years, your clothes go away. So they would study naked, very chill. No, I'm joking. They would actually go under the sand. They would bury themselves and study this way for 13 years throughout the day, neck deep in sand, studying Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and his son Rabbi Lazar. And then after 13 years, of course, I guess at night, I don't know, when they went to sleep, they would come out and put on their clothing. Most of us take off our clothing and go to sleep and then put it on when we go out to the world. But anyway, it's a matter of tomatoes. Anyway, but when they left the cave, he came to his father-in-law, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's father-in-law, who of course he didn't look so beautiful after 13 years of eating carobs, very malnourished and all scratched and bruised. And they said, "You look terrible. You look like you're really struggling with all sorts of things." And sure enough, he said, "It's true that maybe my physical elements are like that, but spiritually I was able to accomplish more in the 13 years in this cave. My Torah studies. Before I was in the cave, any question you asked me, I was able to give you 12 responses. Now that I left the cave, now that I came out of the cave closet situation, this is when I'm able to answer you 24 answers for every question that you have." So that was an incredible feat that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was able to utilize his quarantine to study Torah. I'm just going to mic drop right there. Boom. There we go. We should all be utilizing our quarantine times to connect more to our incredible heritage. We'll make a l'chaim. I think I'm speaking for a little too long. But if it's okay, if you guys are okay with it, I'll go for 3 more minutes and just talk about his death, because that's what we're celebrating today. Usually we don't celebrate people's death, aside from Tupac, but according to Yuri Katz, Tupac never died, alongside Elvis Presley, but he was buried in a Bentley, right? Rolls Royce? Whatever. Anyway, rabbis don't know about these things. Going back to the topic at hand, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, on the day of his death, of course, he lived in Meron. On the day of his death, Meron is in northern Israel. And he wrote, that's where the last day of his life, he literally, and of course, I don't know so much about how these things work spiritually, but tzaddikim, the great righteous people, this was, again, the Moses of the same way the generation that left Egypt had Moses taking them and guiding them and connecting them, so to speak, to God. Because as a simple layman, most of us don't know really how to connect. So too, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was in the Chabad lexicon, the Rebbe of his generation. He was the one that connected them to how to live life as a good Jewish individual. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, on the day of his passing, he in fact had a greater revelation than his entire life. He took a moment. He said, "Guys, all my students, my thousands and thousands of students, come gather around me." My wife and I actually went to the exact spot because he was buried on Meron, across from the mountain of Tzfat. But on the foot of the mountain of Tzfat, there's something called the Idra Rabbah, I-I-I-D-R-A, Idra Rabbah, and that's where he passed away. But that's where as well, right before on his deathbed, he was able to literally reveal to his students the greatest secrets that he was not able to reveal up until that point. Maybe they couldn't handle it. Maybe the world couldn't handle it. But again, when a tzaddik dies, when someone passes away, of course, we know physical life as a flesh and blood. We can make a l'chaim, we could eat a cheesecake, we could have a chocolate bar or a steak or a hot dog. To us, that's a lot of life. But of course, a tzaddik, a righteous individual, his life is truly a spiritual life. So on the day of his passing, this is exactly how he leaves the world. He's privy to much greater spiritual things than he was up until that point. And we're finishing off with this one story. So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, on the day of his passing, literally he was teaching the Zohar. That's when the last day he passed away. That's literally the day that they transcribed the entire Zohar, the book of Kabbalah, and again later made to the masses by the Arizal, the Baal Shem Tov, etc. And when he revealed the greatest secrets to his disciples, and a fire came up, and that's again one of the reasons why we have a fire, and surrounded him, his body, as he was teaching this great Zohar, these great feelings of incredible connection to spirituality and godliness. That's how his soul departed, and this fire literally consumed and went exactly around the area that he passed away. And again, I highly recommend you guys check out some videos on the YouTube channels of what Meron, M-E-R-O-N, Meron, where he's buried in northern Israel, looks like on Lag BaOmer. Hundreds and hundreds, 300, 400,000 people gathering in one unified location. And that's an incredible feat that we see only accomplished by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. So even though you might, many of us on the call might, and that's okay, might have never heard of this holiday, we have to realize a Jewish holiday, even if it's only existed for 900 or so years, it's an incredible holiday. And there's so much to learn. There's so much to gain. There's so much for us to study more about. And I highly recommend all of us utilize the time to its greatest opportunities to study, to learn, to pray. And this is an incredible time. I hope it goes away very soon. But in the interim, let us be like Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, study Torah like it's never been learned before. And l'chaim to all of you on the call, l'chaim. I'm going, if anyone wants to unmute themselves, we could put up, firstly, I'm gonna take off my video so you guys can see everyone else. And feel free we could talk amongst ourselves. You can unmute yourself. How you doing, Michelle? How are you doing, Shannon? David, happy birthday. Unmute yourself, David. How you doing?
Fine.
Chaim, David. David, I see a
birthday
bonfire
to you.
behind you. You have a bonfire behind you?
Yep. That's a picture I took of a bonfire. Not like BaOmer, but yeah.
Incredible. L'chaim. And l'chaim, Shoshana Raya, how are you doing? You look tired. I caught you mid-yawn.
Yeah. We had a barbecue. It was inspirational. We had hot dogs and rice. It was fun.
Incredible. How are you, Natalie? How are you, Michelle?
Doing well, thank you. Chag Sameach. Thank you for having me.
Of course, Natalie, it's such an honor to have you on our call.
Thank
you should join more often. We're here multiple times a week. This is just another excuse on a, what is it, Tuesday night? I don't even remember anymore.
Good to know.
Danny Toller, how are you doing?
Good, thanks so much.
What's the good word, Danny?
Just usual quarantine life. Nothing new or exciting.
Danny, can I drop you a beat? Maybe you could do a freestyle, Danny. Freestyle, Danny, taller.
No, I don't think anyone wants to hear that.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I can compete against the people who already sung for us.
Oh, come on, Danny. Just say l'chaim. You could do anything.
No.
If Red Bull gives you wings, how much more so whiskey? Okay, Eliora, how are you doing? ¿Qué pasó?
Hi, I'm good, Baruch Hashem. Enjoying all this. It's been super fun. Thank you for inviting me. It's been great.
We have a married couple on the call. We have Ella and Trey. Ella, you there? Ella and Trey. Oh, they just got married. This is like their honeymoon. It's great. Spending life together. You don't got to run off to some Hawaii. You got it in the Bay Area. Oh, David and Helena went to Hawaii. I'm sorry. Okay. And Victor Meyerson, how are you doing, Victor? Victor, how are the hot dogs? I made them on the spot.
The hot dogs were good.
Good. No pressure. I mean, if you would have said otherwise, it's fine. I would have blamed my wife, but I made them. Yeah, we have hot dogs available. You don't want to come by? Say hello.
Did you make them?
Oh yeah. So
Really?
we had a cow. We had a pet cow. Well, I'm not going to go to the whole process, but I made them. No, I'm joking. David Skolnick brought them over from Pars, and after he brought them from Pars, we put them on the barbecue grill. I apologize for the vegans. My wonderful father-in-law, we're trying to be vegan to the best of our ability. But today's Lag BaOmer, but maybe I think Alana's trying to do it at least 6 days a week. So we might actually adapt, not gonna lie. We're on the way. My wonderful father-in-law is watching. Sure, he's very happy.
Rabbi, the hot dogs were delicious, and the marshmallows and everything else. Thank you so much. It was a great idea.
Beautiful. Thank you for pushing it. Whoa, we got my father-in-law on the call. I knew I would get him. I just had to say something controversial, that's all. Hey, Dad, how are you?
Thumbs up on 6 days a week.
6 days a week, 6 days a week we work, and on the seventh day we enjoy. L'chaim, Dad. Sorry, there's many interpretations. And we have my fellow fire spinner, David. How are you? The wonderful Dave Kerr. I'm gonna unmute you. Don't worry. 1 second.
Hey, it's good to see you spinning. Thank you for sharing with us.
Pleasure. Oh, David and Helena. 1 second. We have to have a l'chaim from David and Helena. Look at them. Whoa, 6 feet. Whoa. Sorry. I don't want to get. The video's on. No, my in-laws are coming. You have to keep a good 8 feet.
We have hot dogs for you. We will leave it on the grill.
Oh, beautiful. What do you think? I'm a puppy? Oh, beautiful.
Rabbi, we wish you a lot of blessings and health.
Amen.
And only good things. And thank you so much. And happy birthday.
Amen. L'chaim to a wonderful couple that met here at Chabad on Sukkot and now are happily married. I hope. And by the way, hopefully by tomorrow. Okay, good. Okay, good. Wow, look at that. Quarantine only made it better. Wait, Hendele, I can't see you. You could. Why can't I see you? Okay, I'm blocking you. Anyway, so l'chaim to this wonderful couple behind me. We are planning to start up an incredible website, which unlike Tinder and other exciting websites, might be more focused potentially on the external element of things. Chabad of Santa Clara, CYP has already, it will launch probably tomorrow. You might reach out to me because it's not a public forum. Only those of us that are on this call and maybe another 30 or 40 people can join. Those that are seriously ready to start dating and getting married and pushing the needle forward in life. We, as Chabad of Santa Clara, find that as one of the most incredible missions that we can accomplish. As we can see this beautiful, shining, radiant couple behind us. Maybe it's because they're standing behind a bonfire, but I think they look pretty good themselves. But we see this as a God-given mission to procreate the world. FYI, the very first mitzvah that the humanity was given by Adam and Eve was pru uravu, be fruitful and multiply. But not to get too we're going to keep this call PG-13. This incredible opportunity, we'll talk more on a more regular level. We will be sending people's resumes. There's no back end that people can search people and find out how other people look from an external element. This will be strictly for us to push people's profiles to 200 or 300 individuals on the West Coast, professional matchmakers. It's a free of charge. We will take your profile and push it to multiple hundred people on the West Coast. It might not necessarily be mostly other Chabad rabbis and rebbitzins, to be honest. Between here and Los Angeles, you have like 150, 200. But in addition to that, maybe even David and Helena, which of course we know, as always, are incredible pillars of the community. So they will be also looking at that profile. That profile won't be sent to people. It won't be available on the internet, but people like David and Helena will have access to it and will be able to think in their database of people in their mind who these people are compatible with, people that they might have met over the last year or 2 or 3 that are really a good fit. So I highly recommend, if you're interested, please reach out to me. I believe they already made a Google form, but we're going to upload that sometime to this website that they are helping with as well. And again, instead of people choosing for themselves, we're going to choose for you, because this is communist Russia. L'chaim to all of us. Oh no, I'm joking. If you want, you could choose to date them or not. That's another conversation. But l'chaim to all of you, and l'chaim to David and Helena. They should continue being an incredible element, a lighthouse of support, a pillar of incredible inspiration. And I'm sure you guys have been seeing they have ongoing conversations and discussions about Judaism. I see a lot of you guys on that call, but if you aren't, try to get on those calls, because again, this is a PG-13 conversation, and they get, because it's not Chabad, they're able to take it to higher elevations. So l'chaim to being a continued element of support. I'm sure Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, this incredible day, is looking at you and blessing you because of all the incredible spiritual support that you're giving to people. And Hashem should bless you in the right time to have children in the right time. And God should bless you with, of course, every child, contrary to the Western civilization's concept of financial aid, which maybe we got some of us have gotten some checks in the mail recently from the government. But in addition to that, God gives with every child an additional tzinor, an additional faucet. I don't know how to translate tzinor. Tzinor is like a I don't know, outlet, channel, exactly. Channel of physical blessing. So for every child that we have, and again, I'm taking the government out of this picture for a minute. For every child that we have, we get additional financial support from above. So I give you guys all a blessing that not only should you have the additional children at the right time, but you should have the financial means to be able to care for them, because God doesn't give us any challenges that we can't overcome. Continued clarity in all of your holy mission and support, and whatever it is that you guys are doing in this world, you should see very clear what God wants of you and your soul's purpose. L'chaim. Virtual hug.
Virtual hug to everyone else.
6 feet. I don't know if I should whip out a measuring yard over here, but we're far. They're far but close. L'chaim. Thank you for coming.
L'chaim.
So Michelle, where are you coming from? Can I unmute Michelle? Is that okay? Okay, beautiful. How are you, Michelle?
I'm good.
Where are you coming from? Where are you visiting from?
I'm in Palo Alto.
Whoa, you're so close.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining the call, Michelle. Such an honor to have you.
Thanks for having me.
L'chaim, Michelle. Blessings to you in all regards. Only revealed blessings. L'chaim. What's up, Penny Lackner? What's on your mind, Penny Lackner? Deep in thought. Penny Lackner's deep in thought, thinking about mystical things. Penny, can I show a video? Can we end off this call with a video? I saw an incredible video, and it actually has Penny Lackner. I was watching this call. I had a call today with some of my bar mitzvah boys. I had 5 boys on call, teaching them all sorts of deep mystical secrets of how to become a bar mitzvah boy and how to control their hormones and other things that are important to control. By the way, you know, in addition to 13-year-olds, we have to continue doing that later on in our adolescence. But I was watching this video and I saw my brother-in-law, Penny, in the middle of this video. Penny, did you hear that? I was watching a video. I played a 6-minute. You saw that? Lana showed it to you?
No, she didn't.
Okay, can I show it?
I don't know what video you're talking
Oh, okay, no, that's fine. Don't worry about it. It's chill. 1 second. Lag BaOmer. And I saw my brother-in-law in the background. It's great. 1 second. Lag BaOmer. Chabad.org. Meron. And then I think we'll end off the call with that. But this is a beautiful. All you guys are welcome to stay on afterwards. But I'm going to show this video. 1 second. Boom. Penny, you better watch yourself because you have to look for yourself in this video. You ready? Okay, 1 second. Let me share the screen. It was so funny to see you.
Yeah, it was there. It was amazing. I've been there a few times.
1 second. Let me share the video. 1 second. How do you do this? Boom, share screen. Sorry about my lag time on. Okay, Penny, you ready? Is everybody ready?
For me.
Woo! Okay, here we go.
Here, I'm somewhere in a food.
Wait, do you guys see the video?
No.
Okay,
Yes.
sorry. Oh, you do see it or no?
Yes.
Hula. I don't even know where I am.
You don't see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, make it full screen.
Behind me, thousands of buses are gathering.
And you guys hear the sound?
Yes.
In a midway stop heading up to Meron. That's the burial place of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and tonight is Lag BaOmer, the celebration of the life of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Why are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of Jews heading up to this place? Why is this the world's biggest Jewish celebration? Let's go find out.
חסיד אחד היה במירון, הוא חזר לאדמו"ר שלו, האדמו"ר שלו שאל אותו איך היה במירון, אז הוא ענה לאדמו"ר, בפנים היה יום כיפור ובחוץ היה שמחת תורה.
Free food! That's part of the whole Lag BaOmer experience here in Meron. They just give out free food. It's shoko! Delicious! And this is going to give us energy to dance and go nuts here in Meron to celebrate Lag BaOmer. Hashem. They were destroyed, they were killed, they were martyred for the sanctity of God's name. Today we remember all the people. It's called the Yizkor HaKlali. We remember all the Jews who were killed, who were taken. It's the Yizkor candle for all generations.
أبا شمعون كم دعيتك كم أراعيني الجواد أبا شمعون كم دعيتك كم أراعيني الجواد لدعيت بي ليلى الأسود أنت أبي وأنا الولد لدعيت بي ليلى الأسود أنت أبي وأنا الولد لدعيت.
This incredible party at Rabbi Shimon's at Meron on Lag BaOmer, what is it really all about? Well, the truth is that about 2,000 years ago, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai had to hide away from the Romans. The Romans were persecuting the Jews, and they ended up actually destroying the temple and destroying the commonwealth of the Jewish people in the land of Israel. Rabbi Shimon and his son had to go hide away in a cave where they studied the Torah. And they basically hid that Torah for about 2,000 years. That's the Torah of the Kabbalah. That's the mystical doctrines of Judaism. They had to hide it away, and we kept hiding it away and passing it from one generation to another, underground, in secrecy, while we were in dispersion. Well, about 500 years ago, a great man named the Arizal came back to the land of Israel and basically called up the spiritual content of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and said, hey, it's time to get back up again. It's time for Judaism to return to the land of Israel. It's time for that Kabbalah to pour out of Tzfat, out of Yerushalayim, and call the Jewish people back home and call the Jewish people to connect to the depths of the Torah. When we're here in Lag BaOmer at Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's, we're actually celebrating the victory of the Jewish people as we return to the land of Israel. We return to our authentic culture because we're here and the Romans are not. Our culture is victorious and the Roman culture, well, maybe it's going by the wayside as we return. And so this is a day of great victory. It's a day of great beauty. It's a day of great unity. And that is the secret of the Jewish people. When we unite together under the umbrella of our Torah in our beautiful homeland, with God above, with the Jewish society around us, and with the land of Israel below us. Great stuff is on the way. I hope you've enjoyed Lag BaOmer like I have. It's been amazing.
You guys like that? Second. Vinny, you saw yourself?
I saw myself.
Pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's wild. I've never seen this video. Pretty wild.
Chabad.org.
Yeah, crazy. Great memories. Great memories.
What was it like in Lag BaOmer? Tell us more about Meron and Lag BaOmer.
Well,
Keep it PG-13, you know?
No, it was well behaved. I mean, in the video, the video zooming out on it was sunrise, and we basically stayed up all night. We were dancing and celebrating by the burial site of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and like it showed in the videos, you have all the fires, and it's literally it's like a Jewish festival where it's like different stages. Like you have like the bonfire stage, which is like where all the super Hasidic people are like hanging out and partying, and then you have like to the side up the hill, there's like a different area where there's a bunch of campsites and people just hanging out and chilling. And you see all the different cultures and all the different segments of Judaism really coming together, regardless of how super Orthodox you are, how chill you are, but everybody coming to one place and really partying and having a good time. And I think that's really what it exemplified, was like the ultimate achdus, like the ultimate just, brotherhood and family that Jews feel with each other. And it's something special, and it's something that is unrelatable to people that don't experience the Jewish culture on a day-to-day, where I could see somebody that I've never known in my life, I've never met him, but you feel that soul connection and that Jewish connection, and that's what really Meron and I think the whole holiday of Lag BaOmer is breaking through the darkness and starting the path and the trajectory towards the light, and that all starts with brotherhood and family oriented love among each other. And that's Meron, what it exemplifies. Remember, we took a bus there, and just the bus to Meron had so many different people on it, and everybody was singing and dancing, and we were drinking on the bus. We were having a great time, but it really exemplified the idea of doesn't matter what walk of life you come from, we're all here serving the same purpose, even though each of us have our own path to serve that purpose. The goal and the end day, the purpose is the same, and we have to respect that and love each other for that. So that's what Meron's all about.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, the bus was always very exciting. That was the best part.
You know about the bus ride.
The bus ride is reckless.
Crazy.
Trying to find a bus back from Meron back to wherever you're going, that's rough.
That's even worse.
That's like you gotta get punched in the face 15 times.
Oh my God. Okay, that's crazy.
Imagine 500,000 people trying to get back onto city buses going home. Think about it, it's crazy. It's not normal. It's really reckless. But it's beautiful, because you're not really getting punched in the face, because it's a day of unity and love. So no one's gonna punch you on a day of unity and love. I've been punched, but I didn't feel like it was a punch because I knew it was from love. David, have you ever been to Meron for Dave Skolnick?
I've been to Meron, I guess a few times, but never for Lag BaOmer. It's just insane to be there. It's one of those places you want to be, but you don't want to be.
I know about the first part. I don't know about the second, but yeah, I hear you. It looks like you're there now. Are you in
What was
Meron,
that?
or are you on like the Seminole Casino?
Oh, that's Meron. I actually found a picture of a real Lag BaOmer bonfire. So yeah, that's me there right now.
Penny, Meron sounds like marijuana.
Hey,
Anyway.
maybe.
No connection. No, zero connection. I'm just thinking out loud. Beautiful. Eliora, what are your thoughts on the matter? You like the Kabbalah. You love the Zohar, huh? You're studying that all day.
No. I think it's great. I have no words right now, to be honest.
Wow.
It's very deep. This is a deep subject.
You're saying Penny's rap songs were deep.
Oh yeah.
That's good. We tried.
Very, very powerful. Shoshana Raya, you look tired.
Yeah.
What were you doing Taekwondo all day? Shoshana Raya, what level black belt are you in karate?
I don't do karate. I'm a second degree in Taekwondo black belt.
I'm sorry.
Next year I'm going for my third degree. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
I don't think anybody wants to mess with you.
Very powerful. Okay, anyone?
Oh, could be an experience.
Dave, by all means, you're welcome. Please get it on video so we can watch and replay. I'll show it to your parents.
My parents would probably give tips. My father's a higher level than second, and
Oh wow.
my husband's 6th degree, so it's okay.
Wow, nice.
This is what a 2-year-old looks like after 10 p.m.
Oh.
Don't
I'm pregnant. Did you know?
I did. Where are we holding? What level are we at?
4.
4.
Level 4.
4 and 5 more to go.
But yeah. Wait, what?
How many months? How many months is my question.
Yes, 5 more to go.
5 more to go. So you should be raising your child to be a powerful Jew.
Yes.
Like Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai.
Yes.
Yeah, today is a very powerful day to ask for blessings in general. It's really a lot of people would flock to. I think Alana mentioned it before. A lot of people would go to the Lubavitcher Rebbe and ask for blessings for children. and to find a shidduch. So today's a very powerful day to find a soulmate. So today's a very powerful day to pray for that. And I know that we're on the heels of Lag BaOmer, but that's the cool part is that my birthday, right after Lag BaOmer comes my birthday. So it's like, it's nice, you know, you get 48 hours of power. So I give power, the power invested within me. You guys should all be blessed with good things and great tasting hot dogs. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good night.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And we'll see you Thursday if you guys want.
How
Thursday
do you
and
say in Hebrew?
Yom
Or in
Huledet.
Yiddish? Yom Huledet?
Yeah. Thank you. And we'll see you Thursday if you guys want.
How do you say? Oh, thank you. Chag Sameach.
Yeah, Rabbi, only good things. We love you. Only good things.
We'll see you guys. Have a good night.
We love you.
Good night. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy
Bye.
birthday.
My in-laws are here.
Woo!
All right, we love you.
Now the
Enjoy,
party's
everybody.
starting.
Enjoy.
I thought you guys can go.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Let's go.
Wow.
Anyway, good night, everyone. Mom, I'll call you on a separate call in a minute. But good night, everyone. We'll see you Thursday. We have our DIY Judaism course. And then on Friday, we have our young adults professional Zoom pre-Shabbat. So we'll see you then and have a wonderful night. Thank you all for joining. Staying